Got a new member we can welcome, James Courtright.
Jim.
Jim, what got you interested in the Harbor Commission? How did you get to hear about us?
Just to get involved in more of the city activities. Been a homeowner here since 1985.
Oh, wonderful.
Retired here in 2005. Don't currently live in the city, but I own property in the city.
Right.
Been a boater out on the big water since 1970. Enjoy the area and just look forward to getting involved.
Wonderful. Good to have you. We have an agenda. Need the approval of the agenda if everyone's looked it over.
Make a motion to approve it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public comments. Do we have anyone from the public on our agenda-related items?
Yep.
Come
you
on,
do.
come on up.
All right. Hi, I'm Bruce Matthews. I'm president of Bayview Condos. Bob Cook is vice president of Bayview Condos. We're right next door to the proposed marina that you've got going in. We like it, especially if you can get a no-wake zone. And those boats beat our docks up at from 4:30 to 5 every morning. So we have one concern. There's a sliver of land, and if you look at SH4, there's a sliver, there's three parcels, and there's a very narrow parcel right behind the pizza building, between the pizza building and the lake. It's very narrow right there. That's zoned residential, residential only. It's also in 18 of our deeds as residential only. What you've got here is a commercial drive and a commercial sidewalk servicing the marina. That we wish not to happen. I'm just making everybody aware what's going on there. So, and it concerns us. That little sliver is our protection between development between us and the north. And it's very valued to us. So with that, that's all I have to say. The marina's great. It'll look good and be a good neighbor.
Where's the Bayview exactly? Is that all the new ones or that?
No, between the boat launch
Right. Okay.
and this one.
Okay.
We're right there across from Grand Rental. There's 18 units.
I'm kind of getting familiar with all of this, where it's actually going to be. Is it going to be a little bit north of the boat launch or?
Yep, so it's the old Little Caesars building, and this is provided. I think Jeff's just giving an update, but I don't think this is,
Got it.
yeah. But can I get your information and see exactly the spot you're talking about?
Mm-hmm. You want my information?
Yeah.
Sure. It's right. They don't have, in fact, they dropped that property line right here on SH4. The campground stops right here at those two trees. The pizza building is right here on this corner, and that property line, they dropped it, goes right straight across. And that parcel right there, that's in our deeds. Okay. It's not our property, but it's zoned residential. Okay. Let's continue. Bruce Matthews. 517-881-7346 is my pocket phone. Okay. 881-7346, correct. You'll see, you can see it on a couple of these other pieces.
I make a quick public comment.
Okay, your name?
Bob Cook, C-O-O-K-E.
Sure.
I live in Bayview on Arthur. Bruce brought up the slow no wake zone, just real quick. I think it was brought up a number of times in the past with the city and whoever. They deemed that right behind our condos between the boat launch and the big boats, if you will, that that's the main part of the lake. Well, from our perspective, it's not the main part of the lake. It is a channel for those big boats to go past the big boats, past our docks, past your dock, okay, that's in the water, and then get to the channel so they can slow down. It's a channel. It is not, yes, people fish there, but people fish in the channel too, right? Okay, it is not the main part of the lake, just to be clear. I used to live in Holland. We have Lake Makatawa. There was a very, I don't know how wide it was, but it was fairly wide, okay? Almost as wide as what we have in front of our condos. And they actually did a slow no wake for boats. I think it was over 25, but I'm not sure. So you can do that. I don't care if a bass boat comes flying by 100 feet off our docks. I don't care. That's not going to kill me. It's 6 times a day, those big boats going in and out, okay, giving us a good 2-foot wake, because all they're doing is plowing. That's all they're doing. So if we could figure out a way to stop that, and when you put 16 more docks in, they're going to slow up at their dock, but as soon as they get away from their dock, they're going to go right past our dock, and now we have it all over again, and now we have 16 more people to work with. So,
Show me where that is.
My guess is, once it goes forward, I'm sure there's gonna be some looking at, no wake and where boats shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Of course, you've got human nature, which you gotta be able to try and control that too, so. It's all gonna
just
be,
one other thing on that.
Yeah.
It takes 1 minute for them to plow through there.
Sure.
It takes them 3 minutes to get to the channel. We're talking about 2 minutes. And probably,
right.
anyway, just giving you info.
Okay. Thank you.
It's all good info. We'll take it all into consideration, definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else? Anyone else? Public?
It's a problem with the channel.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you listening to us.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The minutes have been distributed. Do we have everyone look at them? We'll have to approve the minutes.
I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second that.
Second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Unfinished business, our marina marketing. I know everything's been going good. It looks pretty good there. It looks really good.
Looked pretty busy last weekend. I
Bunch
forgot
of
to look
boats.
today.
I think weather and everything else related. I know marketing and everything's been going good with DACWA and probably through the reservation system with the DNR, and I know every place we see the cards are usually gone or non-existent, so the word is definitely out there.
And Z's Cart Rental provided 2 laminated sheets, which I.
Yeah, and actually I had an extra one too, so I don't know if she wants it also. Is it the updated one?
Yeah, hers has.
You have it, okay. Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
All we can do is keep going forward with that.
Pray for good weather.
Yeah, that too. Well,
And all of our seasonals are in now, so it's starting
Are
to look
they?
like
Yeah. Good.
it is getting busy, and finally, the weather changed, we had so many rain days, and
Mm-hmm.
my poor dockyons are sitting in the gas dock, and they're just waiting for something to do. It's like, how can you train when there's no boats? So,
True,
Yeah,
true.
they're doing good.
What's the seasonal total?
Oh, we have 10.
10. Good.
Yeah. So, good.
Okay. Reports, the harbor master's not here, but he did leave a little bit. I don't know if we want to go over it. Did everyone have a chance to look at it, the master plan? I know that's coming up, and there's also something going on at the beach for the public this weekend. Is it coming up, or tomorrow?
So we had the open house already, but the survey is open through the end of the month. So if you haven't taken the survey, we'd encourage you to. I know it was over 400. That was probably a week and a half ago. So
Yeah.
in terms of the number of surveys we received. We can talk about a little bit of these. The harbor The dredging is needed in the canal, so that's supposed to start the 22nd through the 26th. We have a walkthrough with them on Friday. Just found out earlier this week. 91 to 99 Arthur, which the gentleman were speaking about earlier today. So that's the permits. They're still waiting on their final coast, the U.S. Coast, I'm sorry, Army Corps of Engineer to review it and be done with it, but they did submit plans, so I think it's highly anticipated about this coming. They did submit plans to our planning department too about a week and a half ago, so it's going through site plan review, but everyone's eager to have that building renovated. And what these gentlemen were talking about on one of the documents, it didn't show some private property, but that might have just been oversight in that particular map, but we'll take a look at that. The skid pier was pulled out of the river. It sunk last year, and so we'll be fixing that up. That's kind of main stuff. So we have 2 dock hands on the weekends are kind of the busy time, right, Katie? And then we are going to modify the rental for the marina, looking at kind of having the keys turned over at 3 o'clock. That way, when there's an overlap, having that third employee do more of the cleaning, do a check on that space. I think I'm bridging into the marina manager report. So.
Keep going.
As far as this new Arthur Street project, is there, I see all the planning is in it. You look at, how's it gonna flow, looking for money and all the surveys and everything? This is all the beginning stages, obviously, so. Not that there's a time frame. Is it 2, 3, 5 years, or is there any?
So I think the plan was, once the plan review is completed, then we'll have our building inspector reach out to them and ask for a schedule.
Yeah,
So that's the first step, but,
right,
so, more to come.
good.
How does this impact the restaurant that was perhaps planned for that area?
I think it's not the same that was proposed, but I don't have kind of an overview of the new one. It's not exactly what the original intent was. I think there's a new operator involved, but yeah, I briefly glanced at the plans, but I couldn't speak to exactly what it's going to look like.
What is the northern border of this marina? Without going into mumble jumble.
Yeah, my understanding is so the two boats over there, the Coast Guard boat and the SS Milwaukee, so it's just south of there.
Up to that point.
Yep.
Just to clarify, this is gonna be owned and run by the city, or this is a private development?
Just a private development.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Is it Swiderski?
In terms of the work,
I see the application name on it, but
He's just, I read through it already, he's just the person doing the tear down work and some of the.
there's a demo, yeah.
Yeah. Because it says there, he's not the property owner or whatnot.
Yeah, you'll see the property owner is listed on a couple of these documents. But that's H1 on the,
In page 2, it says, yes, the property owner is different than the applicant, which is just the permit.
So from our perspective, this is more like a planning commission issue and.
yeah, it's just an update about
What's
some,
going on?
I think one of the big aspects of that was going to be boat traffic could go, and so I think that's why Jeff included it, but I think we're all excited to see something happen there.
Absolutely, that's what I like.
I know we have, not we, but the city has jurisdiction over the traffic in the channel somewhat, or at least the, Jeff does. But the area they were asking about for low wake zone, do we have any control over that? The city, rather.
I know we were talking about signage. I believe we do have to some extent. I think we were going to look into that. I don't have that for the commission today. That's something I can look into, talk to Jeff about.
Curious.
And the police department.
I know that area, that channel, the deep zone along there is getting narrower and narrower, especially in front of the Milwaukee. filling in,
Yeah, the water's kind of low right now.
and the water is low, yes.
As long as we're on no wake zones, I had someone approach me and ask a question about where does our jurisdiction or property or go into the Harbor Village channel there? Someone was asking me about that no wake sign in there. They needed to have it painted, and they were wondering if that's our responsibility or Harbor Village. Is it end at the Coast Guard station or?
That's what I was referencing. I know there was some talk about it. I don't have a definitive statement for you, so let me look into that and get back with you.
River's Edge there? Or?
As far as I know, we're the channel from the pier heads to the lake, the inland lake.
Yeah.
I think it extends into the channel they dug at Harbor Village.
Yeah, they thought the sign needed some repainting, and should the commission look into having the DPW do it? I said, I didn't think that's our responsibility over
I think I asked Jeff about that, and he said that was Harbor Village.
there.
Responsibility. And there's navigational lights along that path,
Mhm.
they're all out, so
Right,
I don't know
right.
if you want to pass that along to
Okay.
somebody who mentioned
Yeah.
it, but yeah, one of our originals mentioned that.
I think they've just got a new management company too. Harbor Village. Harbor Village just got a new management company, I believe.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's split up between several management companies now.
Anything else? We can move to the Marina Manager report. We got a lot of it already.
Got a lot of it already,
Give us,
but why not? Come on here.
give us some goodies.
I don't have a full report, but, let's see, we have, 4 dock hands, and they're all doing great. 3 new, 1 returnee. They're all doing a great job, so the more time, the more training, or the more, involved they become and comfortable, then the less time I spend at the marina, which is tough during the summer months. But they're doing great. I usually staff 3 per day, so 1 early mornings. Our hours just changed this week to early morning and then until 8 o'clock, so 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. So we have an early morning, mid-shift, and then a late afternoon till closing. We have about 20 boats due coming in this week for a fishing tournament. And so that's exciting. All of our seasonals are in. Still waiting on 1 or 2, hoping that they come in for the season. Reservations are going great. We did get 2 DACWA reservations, so that's exciting.
Good.
The marina looks great. Patio looks good. Flowers are all planted. So yeah, just we're ready for summer. But the kids are doing a great job. So I have a good staff, and they're all young, and a couple of them already told me that they won't be back next year. So that's another challenge I get to face. But it's okay. I'll take them for the season.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Stepping stones here and there if you can get
I
1 or
know.
2 now and then.
It's tough because they get offered internships and just want to do other things, but so usually get 1 or 2 seasons. And we commit to 40 hours per week, only because that's what they're looking for. And so if we get a rainy day, I'm trying to give them odds and ends to do. They've been doing cleaning, mulch, and they mow once a week, so they mow the grounds. Power washing, just there's things to do. So hopefully this rain is past and welcoming warm weather. So yeah,
Good deal.
yeah. Anything else?
Thank you.
Kayaks, anything going on with those? The rentals?
I haven't heard anything about the kayaks. No updates.
I did send it to council, got some feedback. I think location's a concern. They said it'd be 90 days out to do a rental. Arcadia's doing them, so talked to a couple people. I'm wondering if we see how Arcadia did and then just kind of visit that in the fall or
Yeah, go for the future.
yeah, but maybe we start off with 4, and Councilmember Smith mentioned the river itself is probably not a great spot, but maybe the Arthur boat launch might be a good one for 4, just to see how they do. But there's an initial investment, so my thought is this could be something we discuss going up to budget next year. So
And I'm glad you brought up the no-wake zone, because we get so many boats that are zooming by the marina, and it's funny because our sheriff's boat and our DNR and our Coast Guard are parked, they're slipped right at the marina, so, yeah, our dock hands kind of go out and slow them down, but, yeah, they do, and,
It's an issue no matter where you go, where there's water. boats and people-
right, oh, yeah, it kind of comes with the territory, but I think more signage would be great if that's,
We encouraged the council, and they bought quite a few signs about 4 years ago.
okay.
I think they have diminished. Some of them have disappeared.
Okay, so just new signs. That would be help, because sometimes they just don't know, and they push the limits until somebody tells them different.
They exceed the limits.
Well,
And I really do believe some of it is education. I've had
right,
professional fishing boats swear to me that it's not at the pier heads, it's at the stub pier, which is not true.
right. And the Coast Guard offers little cards, and we hand them out to boaters as they come in for the fuel dock, just to have on their boat, and, hopefully they read it, but it's full of information. It's nice to have, 'cause sometimes they don't know, and some new boaters they're not aware of, all the rules.
How's the ice machine working out? Is that,
We don't have an ice machine, we bought an ice cooler.
I'm sorry, the
Yep, so
ice cooler.
we purchase our ice from Family Fare. They've been really good. Actually, I just picked up a delivery yesterday. We usually get like 50 to 100 bags at a time, so. And we sell about 500 bags during the summer, so. If I don't go get it, the parks kids will go get it for me in the
Yeah.
truck, but they bundle it, so it's just the big bundles. It's working out fine. And they give me a little discount, so. You have to have ice, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, it all helps.
Yeah.
Nice, thanks, Katie. Our city manager boat launch revenue report?
Thank you. So it looks like seasonals and dailies are a little bit down from last year, so 94 seasonals, 4,700, and then 98 daily permits for $980. So I'd assume that's probably just because it's been colder this May, but hopefully that'll pick up.
New business, there's really nothing, if anyone has anything we want to add.
I
go
do
ahead.
see that, I think it's the barber shop, Jamie Catlett, is doing kind of a boat weekend type of thing, if you look on Facebook. So I'm not sure if we want to start discussing whether we want to do an open house or where we kind of left that last year. I should see what it is called. But like a little event that's kind of, she wants to have the thoroughbred boat in. And, let's see here. Manistee Boat Fest 2024, September 14th.
Yeah, that was on, I've seen it around town. I saw
Yeah.
it over at TJ's. Are they having
Red Boat Show, Cars and Coffee,
Right,
Fire
right.
Department, root beer floats, and the block parties that day, and the Venetian Boat Parade. So maybe that's something we want to definitely jump on and piggyback with.
someone sponsoring that already, the parade and everything?
I'm not sure if it's sponsored, it's done by
Organizing it.
Jamie Catlett, that's what I understand.
So we haven't received a special event request, but maybe we can encourage her if we want to use the marina, just kind of.
You have not?
We have not, but if they're not requesting any, use of public land or closing a street, sometimes we don't necessarily need a special event permit.
It's a public event by Jay Catlett and Company and Victorian Auto Spa, so her and her husband.
Okay,
Well, now we know.
yeah.
Surprise!
The Thoroughbred Club will be there, and they're renting the facility, so I mean, that's their own event. So
Okay.
James probably,
Incorporating it in it?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Because they did talk about Thoroughbred, they brought up maybe a car show last fall. They talked about getting a car show this year, so maybe all in one.
Yeah.
And a block party.
It's a block party
They did
night.
hear that.
So maybe we'll reach out to Jamie, see if she wants, if she's thinking about closing off between Spruce and Pine, that might be, just to have some vendor or some boats over there, we can talk to her.
I can reach out if you'd like.
Okay,
I can take care of that.
yeah, thank you.
We have a July meeting? We can, right?
July 16th.
16th, okay. So that'd be 2 months prior, yeah, we can work on, maybe that'll be under the business or new business.
Do you want to see that on that
Would it be
agenda?
unfinished or new business, something to investigate into coming up?
Okay.
Anything else?
Do we have defibrillators positioned anywhere in the marina area?
Okay, we could talk to the fire chief about adding them over there.
Is that something that would need approach to the revenue sharing committee, or, and would the fire department on our behalf do that, or?
They could. And where were you thinking exactly? Did you have a certain idea of exactly where they'd go?
One definitely in the club, the locked up club area, and one possibly in the upstairs area that's rented out and locked.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to our fire chief, see how. I'm not sure when the next round is, probably a couple months out, but,
That's probably something they can get outside of that.
or you can get outside of that. So we'll look into that. We could put that on unfinished business also.
Anything else? Public comments, these wouldn't be related to the agenda. There's no one here, I believe, or Ben's left. Any comments by the harbor commissioners?
Keep up the great work, Katie. Looks good. Thank you.
So I'll just add one thing that the DDA Streetscape, that's kind of moving forward with. There was an MDOT Shared Spaces grant, looking at kind of what we do with that area in front of the marina. It could be more of a convertible space where you can have, they were looking at diagonal parking, maybe a bollard, maybe a place for a trolley stop, so someone who's using the marina could do that, having bike racks or bike stations. So the idea with that DDA Streetscape was that 31 and River was more of the vehicular access point, and at Spruce and River could have been more of the pedestrian access. So I think it's kind of I'm hoping we can get the grant. So it's going to come to council on July 2nd, but first DDA is going to look at it tomorrow. And anyway, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. But I think for people visiting the marina and wanting to visit the town, especially with the outsider being there, I think it kind of promotes getting out there, taking a look at I think that trolley is a gem that people don't utilize enough, and getting to see the area. So excited about that grant application. We'll see if we get it.
I've got two questions, maybe not comments. One, the money for the state coming for the Riverwalk, is that still limbo, or?
So we bid out the project for the EDA.
Okay.
It was, unfortunately, we didn't have bids, but there was a very tight window. We talked to the EDA on Monday, so Friday the bids were due back. We didn't get it. We did have an ample amount of time. I think the problem was the construction window was short. We were saying, come in here, get it all done by December. So they agreed. They wanted everything closed out by May, so it was maybe, but knowing Michigan weather, that may or may not be helpful to be finishing up early spring. So the good news is we just found out that yesterday they agreed that we could extend it to September 2025. So we're going to rebid with that longer window. We did have a lot of interest. We had a lot of nibbles, but no bites, I guess would be the way to put it. So I'm thinking with that change, we're going to put it back out, really prod the plan holders to submit. And I think it'll actually, we'll get more competitive bids, have a better project, and plus it won't be scrunched in the busy season. So I'll give that message to council tonight as well. So it's looking like it's going to be, I'm hoping they can get a couple things. There's going to be some sheet piling they have to do, some cement work on that ramp. There's some there's a lot of different aspects to it, but I'm hoping they can get kind of the bigger parts done in the fall and then kind of maybe jam out the decking in the spring, but this will give them some options to phase things. And then the North River Walk, I expect a grant agreement anytime from the DNR, but I'm guessing that's probably a month out.
Yeah.
So I think most of the work will be done next year for both river walks.
Another question is, I was approached and asked about, it's probably more the marina, but it might be a legal thing. If a person owned a business, rented, say, seasonal slips for boat rental there at the municipal. They rent these boats, there's one company, it's called Carefree Boat Club, there's another one, there's several around. Carefree is nationwide, you can live in Florida and have a boat in the winter, you can come up here, they're privately held, but they lease seasonal slips. Is that something that a person can do?
So it would be considered commercial. And
Technically-
they would go through,
Technically, I believe they would be. It's like a franchise, but it's an individual franchise, so
okay.
the person that owns the franchise owns the boats.
Okay.
Some have 2, some have 6. I know there was one in Chicago, he had a half a dozen boats.
Different types of boats.
All
Some,
kinds
yeah.
of different boats, all kinds.
You're familiar with them?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
they're all over Florida.
Yeah.
Uh,
They were in Chicago, they've got a few in Grand Haven, south, but someone was asking if it's, can you do that at the municipal
So would it be the
Is it
same
allowed?
boat and slip, or would they change?
Same boat all
Same
summer
boat
long.
all season?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually they rent them in the morning or afternoon or all day long. That's here and there. But then they'd use the facilities, of course, since they've got
Yeah.
their seasonal slip.
Something definitely we can look into.
Just a comment, I bicycle by the marina area often, and it's good to see the employees out keeping busy, even when they're not busy with the boats. Well done.
Well, today they asked me if I would purchase an air conditioning unit for the gas stock. I was like, no way. We're gonna make you suffer. No.
Yeah.
They have AC in the floaters lounge, so they're welcome to go in and out and cool off. Go back to the gas stock. Oh, it's hot, it's warm.
Yeah, I'm sure. Anything else, anyone?
There was a lot of discussion relative to the no-wake zone. Is there any definition of what a wake is? Because that is a maritime channel, and freighter comes in, they throw out a huge wake when they use their thrusters.
Right.
And unless we can identify what a wake is, it's just a question of your opinion versus my opinion.
True.
So, you have to be careful with that. In today's environment, with all the litigation that goes on, we have to be careful with that.
I guess I thought the definition was the lowest speed to maintain headway speed. So when you're in a channel, because listen, I'll say it. A lot of the problems are the fishing boats. They plow through and they're going out to get the bite, which I get. They got paying customers, absolutely. But that's I think a lot of what we're seeing. But so the definition actually would help.
Yeah. We just, the reason I brought that up is because we ran into that in Harbor Village. What one person's opinion of a wake is totally different than another. If you are moving forward, you throw out what can be considered a wake.
Water's
Some of them are inches, some of them are feet.
Exactly, water's getting cold.
So, and that then becomes a question of enforcement. So, the enforcement agencies are sheriff, Coast Guard, conservation boat.
City police.
What's the definition? My boat was not sunk, but it was one that was moved when the freighter ran aground in the channel and raised the water 5 feet. Okay? trying to power off before they fix the corner. But that's why I don't slip on the channel anymore, because a thruster can really raise the water. And that is totally so much more devastating than a 5-inch wake.
Well, thruster, it's current as well.
Yes, yes.
And it's hard to go by speed. You can't go by speed.
No.
Sailboats,
Everybody-
pontoon boats don't, it's
Yeah.
all whole design
Right.
as far as what they plow.
I don't know how we can take a position without a definition and enforce it.
And I think there's a difference between pleasure craft and commercial craft, you know, the freighters. So there's got to be, and the Coast Guard has to have a definition and a set guideline or rule, I would imagine.
All those fishing boats are commercial crafts.
True.
They're all commercial. We don't allow them in Harbor Village because they are commercial.
And they also are educated as far as no-wake zones and.
Hopefully they are,
And
yes.
navigation and stuff.
But
Yeah.
this is what's speaking for those guys. So. Just thought I'd bring that up.
Coast Guard definition of a wake?
They're talking about current, because you got a 5-knot current, you have to maintain.
Or more.
Headway speed.
Or more.
On some wake.
You're not running out of idle,
Right.
going against the current,
Nope.
believe me.
Good times docking in the river.
I guess it's something to look into. Anything else? We're all good? We can adjourn our meeting?
Need a motion?
Somebody can give a motion?
Motion we adjourn.
All right.
Second.